like the best thing ever, man. Like, you just spend all your time grinning and sweating, which is a good combination, you know. I can only think of one other thing you do that with.
Sim racing.
Yeah, of course, sim racing. Although, Misha just invited us down to Vulcan Alpha, which is really nice. Looking forward to going down there. However, the road to get there is like that wide and requires lots of turning, and this has just like no steering lock whatsoever.
Cool. Go the other way now. Oh, he didn't just fucking get in, did he? Sorry, the goat's arrived. Has he arrived? Has he arrived in the Gulf? Oh! He's literally like a GTA character right now, with his big shades and driving a GT40 around. Sorry, I thought making a subtle entrance, you know.
Alright, perfect.
What do you think of my S90?
That's amazing. I'm sure that's far more comfortable than that.
So they have the license to make it,
Yeah.
and it's made the same way as it was back in the 60s. So with a couple of like nice things like this AC, kind of. I'll take with me whenever I go anywhere. Shouldn't say this really, but there's not really a way to lock it, so you have to just walk around with the key components. So we're back, NLS4. Amazing to be back at the Nurburgring. First things first, Steve is back. Steve has served his race ban and is back here today driving. Did some laps yesterday, was really quick, back into it straight away. Also yesterday, I had the honour of doing my first taxi laps. So I got to take round some poor, unsuspecting, I think they were Instagram influencers, I'm not really sure. It's gonna be good, mate, trust me.
Go hard, man.
Yeah, we'll go hard.
Don't mind me. I can take it. Oh yeah! Go, 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 go!
I know, but I made 2 of them sick. So that's a good hit rate. 50% sick rate when you come over a lap with me or on a Nurburgring. Is that a good thing or not? What do you think? It's cool being back in the car, but it's weird being back in the car with like the weight of the passenger, no offence, and like old tired and new setup as well. So you're like, oh, what's it doing? Don't really know. This is why I don't tell you this before. I'll tell you after. I didn't know what the car was going to do because they changed all the settings.
I could have done another round.
Oh wow! All right, there we go. Come on. But time for qualifying. Managing the car first, and yeah, see how we do. Already come across a code 60. So what happens when you have like 120 cars out there at once? One is probably going to break. So yeah, Manny's first lap aborted. I'm not sure if he's going for another one. If he is, then I think it's cleared up there now, so it might be worth having another go at it. But yeah, frustrating. by far the fastest that car has ever gone around here. I think we're on pole. We can stop now. We're done. We're done.
I thought maybe it's a low 30, I thought, but below 30 and that much, it's just incredible.
That's by far and away the fastest lap this car's done, and the fastest lap any SPHE has done this year by about. I don't know, I think the next best is like maybe 8 or 9 seconds off this, something like that.
You're really, really good. I'm really happy.
Manny Metzger, awesome.
This motherfucker, show him the badge. Show him the badge.
So Timo Glock, our main competitor from N24, you know, he's driving for Falcon. So I'll be hanging out with him, and I just had a taxi lab with GTI, and tomorrow I will be driving a Golf 8 TCR factory prototype, one of one in the world, in a parade lab. When life gives you lemons, bring out the vodka and make vodka lemonade.
Good lap, man. Oh, on it. Yeah, the car was good and we're already pole, so why do you want to go and risk the car for another lap, you know? Maybe I'm just getting old. But here we are again on the grid. Pretty far. I've actually headed some cup cars, which is mad. Manny again with the goat lap. Steve's starting, I'm second, Manny's third. We have good pace, you know, but it's just so many times over the last couple of seasons where things have not gone our way and have been out of our control. So we're not taking anything for granted. We're going to just drive around, take it easy, be kind to the car. We've got the pace in hand, which is like the important thing. So yeah, confident. And I was confident for a reason, and this gives some context just how good Manny's lap was. So we're walking down the grid, we're still going, and over there on the left hand side, that there is the factory Toyota of Kamui Kobayashi. That's how big of a gap we had. We're just about to get going. Steve's at the front of the pack of the GT cars, GT4 cars, and various things. We have a couple of like Porsches behind us, so just hoping they can get by quickly, but Steve knows what he's doing. You know, I'm confident in him. So NLS round 4, race start, and we're on board with Steve as we all plummet down towards T1 for the first time. You can see all around us a sea of Porsche Cup cars. This is the, I guess, the downside actually to starting so high up on the grid. We're sort of mixed in with cars that are actually faster than our M4, or should be anyway. But as we start getting through the first lap of the Nordschleife, things sort themselves out, and we're now at the front of the GT4 pack and just behind the Porsches. But look at the windscreen there, spots of rain. Now this sort of amount doesn't really do much, but it turns out actually it rained quite a bit more just before the race has started. And look ahead, Aston Martin sideways across the road. Somehow Steve misses it. Look in the mirror, big contact behind as well, and somehow, I still don't know how, Steve survives it all. Right, well done Steve, my god, he did so well to avoid all that carnage. We knew there might be some rain today, but like it's just come out of nowhere. As is always the fucking way. Steve, mate, when you watch this, amazing. Well done. But it wasn't over for Steve as the rain started to come down hard on this back end of a circuit, and you can see the Cup cars really struggling for pace. Our M4 in these sort of mixed conditions was pretty decent, and now Steve finds himself in the position where he's stuck behind these slower Cup cars and a couple of GT4 cars that had found their way through the carnage earlier in the lap, just about before Steve.
Change for the lead.
Yeah, and it's rain, heavy rain.
Change for the lead, though. That's not the second Mercedes, that's the Gunon Mercedes that has now been overtaken by 1 and 2 Porsches. It might be 3 by the end of the lap.
It is.
It is 3. So what tyres is Shulgun on? As now there's going to be a potential lead change again as Frank Schnippler breaks late. Oh, he's taken the front off the number 4 Porsche of Nico Menzel. Now, does Menzel pit? He's not going to pit. He maybe doesn't know. Well, yeah, very good point.
So all the SB9 GT3 leaders didn't pit for wet tyres, but the rain was getting worse and Steve had a very important decision to make. Maybe it is the right choice, we've gone off all over the place. But it's dry elsewhere, so I don't know.
That's going to potentially drop down the order this lap. I think that car is wounded, not just physically from the side of the PU off, but I think it's got steering damage.
Trying to drill down into the sector times. If I tell you, Hubert Haupt did sector 3 in 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Now the race leader's off onto the gravel at the Vidal chicane.
Now Bastien Boost there, he ran wide. To be fair to Frank Schnippler there, he made the mistake, Bastien Boost that is, ran across the gravel and rejoined, and Frank Schnippler was entirely in his right to go to the left hand side, and Bastien Boost just closed the door. It was going to be cars off.
They are all off. Boost is off.
And Schnippler.
Now Schnippler, and that was Menzel.
Everybody's off. That's 5 cars off at Hatzenbach. Make that 6. The other Falcon cars off and collects the others. We've got 7 cars off at Hatzenbach now. It's just an absolute skating rink down there. I would not be at all surprised. This is a red flag, Johnny.
Oh my god, look at that. This is what the Nurburgring is like. Wet tyres, 100% the right choice, but I think they're probably going to end up red flagging this. Hey, Steve did fucking... he did well there. Of course.
It is a red flag, perhaps no real surprise.
Oh my god. I was just sitting here shitting myself watching you go through it, man.
I saw the dollar signs in front of me. I was like, shit, do not hit anyone.
Restart. So basically, the race was red flagged and we've now started again as a 4-hour race. So going through this whole build-up process shit again. Bit of a circuit's wet, but Steve's out there in slicks because he's a hero. So it should be fine though. It'll dry out pretty quick, I think. And just hopefully we can avoid several pile-ups this time. So yes, start number 2 for Steve, but with a difference. The race was now reduced to a 4-hour race due to the red flag and the time it took to clear everything up. And again, the goal for Steve was the same. Stay out of trouble, try and stay ahead of the rest of the SB10s and SB8Ts, the GT4s, and try not to get too involved with the Porsche Cup cars in front, which are meant to be faster, but can sometimes be a little bit slow to get going. This stint from Steve was just faultless. I think that he caught a lot of flack for what happened during the N24, and some would say rightly so as well, but for me this was the perfect response. And thanks to the speed and consistency of Steve on his stint, the gap to P2 had opened up massively. We're talking over a minute. Amazing drive. He even managed to beat the final boss, the Dacia. It's been a really good stint so far from Steve. Obviously had to sort of start the race twice, but did well both times. We're leading by a fair chunk now, I think over a minute. As long as it's last lap now, then I'm going to get him for my stint and yeah, try and just keep this pace up. So time for my stint, and thanks to Steve, we already had a huge lead. So all I had to do really was drive consistently, be concise with what I wanted to do, but at the same time, I don't want to take my eye off the ball because that's when mistakes happen. Now, to be 100% honest, just before this race happened, I took part in a couple of rounds of Janetta at Snet, the video you guys have seen already. And honestly, that had knocked my confidence a little bit, given how those races went. So this stint was just really important to me, to myself, to remind myself that I can do this. I've just got to keep focused, even if sometimes the old sim racer rage still makes an appearance.
Jimmy Broadbent, who is a well-known member of the RSL Collective, driving the 150 car yet again. And 150 is actually Jimmy himself leading SB8T in the Bilstein-sponsored BMW M4. Down through the gears and powering his way out of the U-bend, which forms the cut-through.
So at this point in the race, we're actually up to P14 overall. And because of some issues with the car behind, we were now 6.5 minutes ahead of the closest car. So my job changed slightly from driving around and trying to keep pace to it's time to save fuel. I was being told on the radio, save fuel wherever you can, try and go an extra lap so we haven't got to mess about on the pit stop. So I just started to take things, honestly, a bit easier. Didn't really push, didn't really take any unnecessary risks, just drove the car around. It was almost boring.
This is such a good race though. It's been so good. Like this morning, the content was just crazy. And then Jimmy gets in the car and it's like the smoothest, consistent, fast laps ever. He's like within no people. It's so good. Like, I think he's really shown that he can just lap the ring fast and get it done safe, you know? Like, it's so good.
She's just the best, isn't she? Best cheerleader. And yeah, safety was all I really focused on for now. Wasn't really looking to try and beat any lap times. However, even despite going easy, I also managed to defeat the final boss, which is Dacia Logan. Easy game on our way to completing our stint.
What do you make of Jimmy's stint? It's boring. Quite frankly, it was boring. But that's a good thing, because it means you're consistent and making no mistakes and making no drama. So that's basically the perfect stint.
Looks really good. Steve did a good job. Put quite a gap on P2. Now Jimmy even improved more. So I don't know actually how much the gap is to P2. So we are really comfortable, and in the end I just bring it home now.
Even after a stint of taking it easy and saving fuel, we boxed with a gap of over 1 lap to P2. And all Manu's got to do now is bring it home.
That stint was basically just me doing my job. I got told to save fuel and just basically take it easy. So I did that. Pulled the gap. I think we're a lap ahead of everyone right now, which is amazing. Felt comfortable. Didn't have any push laps. Yeah, happy with that. Good. I mean, unfortunately, because we're SB8T, we have to have a longer pit stop time than everybody else, which has sort of put us behind the rest of the GT4s, which is a shame, because we would have destroyed them, obviously, and probably been like 15th or 16th overall, but it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, because we're still winning our class. But yeah, Manny's just stretching his legs now, 10 minutes to go. Looking good.
Let's go, Jimmer.
Let's go, boys.
Go on, Jimmer! Go on.
Yes, boys. Oh, I'm like so relieved. And like that's what happens. That's what should have happened. Like for 10 races, we smashed it out of the fucking park. Nothing could have gone any better. Oh, amazing.
6-hour winner.
I just have nothing else to say. Sometimes it's just good. Sometimes you get to enjoy it. You know. Remember that time when we won? I was like, oh, we could have won by whatever. we couldn't do anything better. This is like the perfect race.
Mega job, man. Great drive.
He's done it again. Last lap, 32-1, I think.
Slow down.
Gosh, that's great. Really fun to drive. Perfect race, finally.
Perfect drive. Oh, look at that.
Oh, okay. Wait.
Awesome.
So there it is, our second win in NLS. And to be honest, this one feels much sweeter than the first one because we just nailed everything. I keep saying that, but I mean, the strategy was perfect. We left no time on the table. Everyone drove superbly. And here we are. What was the gap, like 2 laps?
This
Something
guy
like
was
that?
boring.
Oh,
It was so boring because it was just so perfect. I steal the content. Sorry about that. Just go and watch on my channel.
But this guy over here, man. He's feeling pretty inadequate now, actually. But yeah, what an amazing experience. What a great day for Black Falcon as well. Like, to have one of their cars overall podium, amazing. I don't have to say, apart from a massive thank you to Bill Stein, Black Falcon, all our partners, Padded, Falcon, Ravenel. We wouldn't be here without those guys, and to continually come here and show like what we can do, I really hope it opens the door for other people, you know. But right, I'm gonna get very drunk now. See you guys, love you.